A Saint-Tropez la luna si desta con te e balla il twist contando le stelle nel cielo. Ma la stella ancora più bella non è in cielo, è qui vicino a me, a Saint-Tropez. Ma la stella ancora più bella non è in cielo, è qui vicino a me, a Saint-Tropez. Twist, twist, tutto il mondo, twist, twist, sta impazzendo. Sogna, vuol tornare, una lunga notte ancora mai più scordare a Saint-Tropez. La gente si chiede perché tu balli il twist portando un vestito in lame. Vuoi sembrare ancora più bella ma la moda è sempre quella se tu balli il twist. Vuoi sembrare ancora più bella ma la moda è sempre quella se tu balli il twist.
Ciao! So I found a zip and a button and some more rags, and so aside from this top which you've already seen that I sewed by hand, then I also sewed myself this headband and some shorts. I'm so happy with them. You may think, why are you so excited about shorts? But shorts are really quite difficult to make, or rather I found out that they were, so I'm quite excited. I also thought I would make some pizza just to go with the whole, I don't know, retro theme. Is pizza retro? Well, I guess it's a classic, isn't it? Yeah. So many of you are studying Italian, so I shall talk you through this recipe in Italian and English. But as always, you can find the recipe on kyliflavelle.com under the blog section. Allora, dopo tutti questi anni in Italia sono diventata molto esigente per quanto riguarda la pizza. So after all these years in Italy, I have become quite fussy when it comes to pizza. Voglio una pizza leggera. I want a pizza that is light, facile da digerire, easy to digest, un po' croccante, a little crispy, ma senza rinunciare a quelle bolle di aria nella crosta, but without sacrificing those bubbles of air that you get in the crust. In the last month, I have been trying to refine my ideal recipe. Nell'ultimo mese ho provato a raffinare la mia ricetta ideale. Ovviamente ci sono 1000 modi per fare la pizza. Obviously there are 1000 ways to make a pizza. Dopo aver vissuto in Toscana, Lazio, Campania, after having lived in Tuscany, Lazio, Campania, e aver girato tutta l'Italia, and having traveled all over Italy, dal nord alla Sicilia, from the north to Sicily, posso dire che quasi tutti gli italiani concordano. I can say that almost all Italians agree che la patria della pizza sia Napoli. That the homeland of pizza is Naples. Crosta alta, a high crust, base sottile, a thin base, ingredienti semplici, freschi come la margherita, fresh, simple ingredients like the margherita. Quando l'impasto è veramente buono, when the dough is really good, non c'è bisogno di appesantire la pizza con mezzo frigo. There's no need to weigh the pizza down with half the fridge. La margherita nella sua semplicità è la mia preferita. The margherita in her simplicity is my favorite. Pomodoro, mozzarella, basilico. Tomato, mozzarella, basil. In questo momento è di stagione una verdura che si chiama cime di rapa. In this moment there is a vegetable in season that is called cima di rapa or cime di rape. And il contadino accanto ci ha regalato della salsiccia, and the farmer next door gifted us some sausage. Quindi ho fatto alcune pizze con questo mix delizioso. So I did some pizzas with this delicious mix, ma la margherita rimane per me la regina delle pizze. But the margherita remains for me the queen of all pizzas. Per iniziare sciogliamo il lievito nell'acqua. Okay, to start, we're going to just dissolve our yeast, fresh yeast I'm using. That's a whole other discussion, I'll put it on the blog, but basically use the fresh yeast. I've tried the dry yeast, it's just not the same. So yes, we dissolve that in our water. Many recipes tell you to dissolve all of your yeast in all of your water, but in this way, if then you add all your liquid and the dough becomes too sticky, then it's a mess. Tante ricette ti dicono di sciogliere tutto il lievito in tutta l'acqua, però così se aggiungi tutto il liquido e l'impasto dovesse risultare troppo appiccicoso è un casino. You can add more flour, but it's not really ideal. Si può aggiungere altra farina, ma non è l'ideale. There are so many variables that can influence your dough. Ci sono tante variabili che influenzano l'impasto, come ad esempio, like for example, il tipo di farina, the type of flour, l'acqua, the water, il clima, the climate.
Quindi io metto da parte la metà dell'acqua.
So I put aside half of the water, così sei sicuro di mettere tutto il lievito. Like this, you are safe in putting all of the yeast in, con la possibilità di aggiungere la restante acqua poca alla volta e quanto basta, with the possibility of adding the remaining water a little at a time and however much is needed.
A proposito, questa è la vista dalla mia nuova casa. È bellissima, no? By the way, this is the view from my new house. Isn't it beautiful? Ci sono due cose principali che possono uccidere il tuo lievito.
There are two main things that can kill your yeast.
Il sale e l'acqua troppo calda.
Salt and water that is too hot. Tante ricette richiedono l'acqua tiepida. Many recipes ask you to use warm water, ma sinceramente se lasci l'impasto a riposare per un giorno, but honestly if you leave the dough to rest for a day,
Puoi usare anche l'acqua del rubinetto.
you can also use just tap water, and this is from a very trusted Italian pizza maker here who told me, yes, obviously warm water expedites the process, but if you're going to leave it to rest for as long as it should be left to rest, then it's fine to just use tap water. Il lievito è molto contento se gli dai un po' di dolcezza. Yeast is very happy if you give it a little bit of sweetness.
Quindi io aggiungo un cucchiaio di zucchero di canna.
So I add a teaspoon of brown sugar o un cucchiaio di miele or a teaspoon of honey. Okay, in a bowl we put the 00 flour. In una ciotola mettiamo la farina 00.
A questo punto abbiamo la farina, abbiamo aggiunto il lievito e quando abbiamo amalgamato l'acqua con il lievito e la farina avremo questo risultato. So at this point we have our flour, we've added our yeast, and when the water with the yeast and the flour has been mixed together, we will have this result. Dovrebbe essere così. It should be like this.
Ora il lievito è protetto dalla farina, quindi possiamo aggiungere il sale. Now the yeast is protected by the flour, so we can add the salt. Poi aggiungiamo dell'olio di oliva. Then we add some olive oil. Okay, we add the other half of the water, a little at a time. Aggiungiamo l'altra metà dell'acqua, poca alla volta. Vogliamo un impasto grezzo ma compatto, non troppo appiccicoso. We want a dough that is rough but compact, not too sticky.
Decidi tu quanta acqua può bastare. Decide for yourself how much water will do. It should look like this or like this.
Dobbiamo impastare per 15-20 minuti. We have to knead for 15-20 minutes. O finché non sentiamo una consistenza liscia così. Or until we feel a texture that's smooth like this. A volte impasto sul tavolo, sometimes I knead on the table, però l'ho fatto anche nella ciotola per poter guardare il PC mentre lavoro e funziona lo stesso. But I've also done it just inside the bowl in order to be able to look at my computer while I'm working, and it seems to work just as well. Makes a lot less mess too. Ora dobbiamo mettere dell'olio. Now we have to put some oil per far sì che l'impasto non si attacchi mentre lievita, in order to make sure that the dough doesn't stick to the bowl while it's rising. Copriamo l'impasto. Let's cover the dough e mettiamolo in un posto caldo. And we put it in a warm place.
Dopo 2 ore, più o meno, si sarà gonfiato.
After about 2 hours it will have swollen quite a lot, e a questo punto lo tagliamo in due, and at this point we cut it in two. Pieghiamo l'impasto, we fold the dough in 2 palle così, in 2 balls like this, provando a non schiacciare tutte le bolle di aria, trying not to squash all the little pockets of air or the little bubbles of air.
the stars are.
Un altro po' di olio, little bit more olive oil, e le lasciamo riposare per almeno 20 ore. And we leave them to rest for at least 20 hours. Se mi dici no, Kylie, è troppo. If you're saying to me, no, Kylie, it's too much time to wait, too much effort, allora forse non hai mai assaggiato una pizza lievitata bene.
Then maybe you haven't ever tasted a really good slow rise pizza.
When it's given this extra time, basically it changes everything. È un'altra cosa. It is a whole other thing entirely. Dopo questa pizza, ti giuro, after this pizza, I swear to you, non ti senti appesantito, gonfio e leggerissima. You don't feel heavy, you don't feel bloated. It's so light. Grazie al tempo di lievitazione, thanks to the rising time. Okay, I don't have my lens that could get me in the shot and the table in the shot, so I shall have to bend down. But look at this. Look at what it's become overnight. Really wonderful. So what we're going to do first is make sure your oven is super, super hot. So have it preheated. You want it to be as hot as it possibly can. It's never going to be the same as a wood-fired oven, but we can try. Also, whatever you're going to put the pizza on, put it in the oven so that it's heating up, so that when the dough is hitting it, it's already really nice and hot. Obviously you can use a stone if you have a stone. We don't have a stone. I just have a tray, so that's I find that retains a lot of heat anyway. But I do want to put down some carta da forno, baking paper. And then I let the weight of it just stretch it out itself.
Baby, Betty Luna, baby, baby Luna, baby, Betty Luna, baby, baby Luna. Regalami una stella che mi possa dare un poco di fortuna, baby Luna.
Un'altra cosa sulla quale sono molto esigente, another thing on which I'm quite fussy, la base deve essere delicata ma sufficientemente croccante per sostenere la salsa di pomodoro e il liquido che esce dalla mozzarella. The base must be thin and delicate, but sufficiently crispy to sustain the tomato sauce and the liquid that is going to come out of the mozzarella. Actually, I made one of these last night and it was almost too thin, and obviously you don't want your pizza to be soggy, but this is a very light dough, so I think it can take a bit more sauce because it's not going to need that long to cook through. È più facile in un forno a legna. It's easier in a wood-fired oven. A casa, at home, preferisco cuocere prima la base. I prefer to cook first the base con solo la salsa di pomodoro, with only the tomato sauce. E quando la crosta è bella gonfia, and when the crust is really nice and swollen and puffy, e il centro ha avuto abbastanza tempo per cuocere, and the center has had enough time to cook, metto gli altri ingredienti. I put the other ingredients on. Otherwise you just get into trouble, because then you've got the base that's not cooked properly, and the ingredients are covering the base and they're leaking liquid into it, so it's getting soggy, and it's just going to cause you a nightmare. So this is a lovely way to make things simple and successful. Just take a little bit of olive oil and rub it, if you can, because it'll be quite hot, but over the edges so that they become nice and golden.
How did you go with the Italian? Don't worry if it was too overwhelming. Remember, it's all being absorbed and training your ears and eyes to become familiar with the language. And this is how I learnt, and it really works. Don't concentrate so much on understanding every phrase or every word even. Just let it wash over you like music.
All through the night, in share the tenderness of love. But with the dawn, my love is gone, just like the fading stars above. My lonely heart cries out, please come back to me, beside the sea in dear old Napoli.
A Saint-Tropez la luna si desta con te e balla il twist contando le stelle nel cielo.
Thank you to my patrons who you can donate just a one-off or on a monthly basis, $2 a month or whatever you choose really. But thank you to those who have chosen to support my work. Please do subscribe, click the little notification bell and give this video a like if you liked it. And I thank you with all my heart for watching and I hope to see you next video. Grazie.
Senti che brivido, questa è la vita fantastica.